Hit me.
Alright, we are now working a lot more on the back side. I've got pretty much the top side disassembled down far enough to where everything that is on the back side holding these pieces in here need to come out first. So top side is done for now until I can remove all of the bolts and nuts that are like right here. Right here, I've already got one ready to go. Started working on this. So I got to get all those removed, and I'm going to take all the remainder of the top side off. All right, I've got all of the nuts and washers removed from all these pieces around here, like I stated earlier I needed to. My next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all these light boards that are underneath the playfield just to go ahead and get them removed. I've decided that I'm going to take everything off this playfield, front and back, and reassemble and clean everything. Not to mention, it just makes the whole clear coating process much easier when you don't have to worry about the back side of the playfield and getting things all covered up and stuff like that. So in the long run, it's going to save me a lot of hassle with cleanup and stuff. And this is one of those games where a majority of the hardware is on top, where on the bottom is about as much that was on the Getaway, honestly. So this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. And so I'm gonna get the light boards off, and then I'm gonna, let's see here. I don't think I'm gonna remove the wire harness, but I guess I probably could. Gotta desolder all this stuff right here. Take the wire harness off. Oh man, that is definitely a task. Not as much a task about removing the stuff as just getting it all back on, but it needs a good cleaning. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, I can't get that one off because they put it behind this solenoid.
Hush.
Time to get everything else removed, and everything else that's on here can only be removed by removing stuff from underneath, bolts and whatever, like the pop bumpers and stuff like that. I can get the skirts off, or at least unscrewed, but I won't be able to remove them unless I desolder the GI wires. So probably get the pop bumpers next. Yeah, we'll get these all removed next. So in order to remove these pop bumpers, I need to desolder from the coil right here, both of these. Then you have your 3 screws right here that go through. And then you have the nut that bolts them down. And then you have the GI line that's gonna have to be desoldered here and here. This is what lights up the light. Those are gonna have to be removed. And whenever I do the pop bumpers, I buy all new GI bulb and the line that goes to it. So I'm just gonna end up clipping this off as it is. Just cutting that off, and then I'll be able to feed it through with no issue. And then I'll have all new lines to go through. But, yep, that's what we'll do. Alright, so far I've removed one. Now I need to get the 2 screws that are down there. And I buy all new this. And I'm gonna also buy all new skirts. So particularly for the pop bumper stuff, I go pretty much all new for it because those things get a lot of work. So why not get all new? All right, there's one down, 2 more to go. If you want to know one of the scariest things to do when it comes to restoring a playfield, that is removing the entire backside of a game, including the wiring harness. This can be potentially a bad decision if wrong decisions are made in the process. Luckily, I've done this before via my getaway, so you've seen that, and I've removed that backsides to other games also when doing a playfield swap. So this isn't my first go around. So there's a lot of things that I've learned in those that I'm going to start doing from now on, and more than likely I'm going to learn something while doing this one that I'm going to do on my next one. But one of the things that I'm going to do now for this one for sure is that I'm going to be using zip ties to put in place of where all of my current wiring harness connectors are located. This is going to help in the future when it comes to putting this back on here, because these zip ties will be in position, locked in place, so that way I'll know that all these are where they need to be. Because previously, I mean, if you move these wires around enough, things are going to be moved further down or whatever, especially when you're throwing it in the dishwasher like I'm going to be doing. Just doing little things to help you make sure you put it back exactly the way it was is going to be a major help. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be going through this entire wire harness, applying these zip ties, and I've got plenty more where this came from. And going to start getting everything off of the back side of this playfield. Alright, so all I'm doing is going up here to the wires where the current wire harness straps are at, and just buckling down zip tie, clipping off the excess, going to every single one of these. This is literally only going to take me 5-10 minutes to do this entire playfield, guys. And it's going to save me a lot of time when it comes to reapplying this playfield back together again. So by all means, do as you wish, but anything that's going to save me a lot of time and effort and looking at images and stuff like that to make sure I put it back together right, I'm all up for it. We're giving it a shot. And that's what we're doing right here. These wires are so filthy that if I merely touch a single one, my hands are like covered in like dirt, debris, soot, whatever you want to call it. I've got a lot of zip ties, guys. That is a cheap item to have in your toolbox. Very handy for all kinds of things. I highly recommend that you add that to your toolbox when it comes to working on machines, because they're quite useful. And you can get them all color coded as well. I don't need to do that here. All right, so I think I'm ready to start removing all the switches and lights. Anything that required removal via desoldering, I did that already. So, removal of the wiring harness has begun. So I got all my hardware right here. All the wiring harness brackets are down there. I'm going through and removing everything now. So the process is well underway. Anything that's mounted right now is all of the GI. All the switches have been disconnected. The only thing that's connected now is the lighting system and little things like this here and there. A little further along now, all I've got is just this section right up here to unmount. About, I don't know, 10 screws or so, and then this wiring harness and this one right here. That's just kind of up there right now to make sure this back end right here doesn't fall off. So just trying to keep it somewhat organized right now, but eventually it's all going to come off and be a jumbled mess. But that's the progress so far. Almost got this thing removed. And here's the wiring harness for Johnny Mnemonic. And this is what Johnny Mnemonic looks like with the wire harness removed. As you can see, there's definitely some dark areas from wear and tear or some soot and stuff like that around here particularly, and over here. Usually anywhere there's a coil. So I'm going to cut all these out because they don't need to be there anymore. I'm going to get all new. And then I may go ahead and remove the T-nuts as well, just so I don't have to worry about getting clear coat inside of those. I don't know. I'll think about it. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is removing all of the T-nuts.
Well, we did it. The playfield is completely stripped of hardware. All that remains is a compilation of dirt and soot built up over the last 26 years. So what's next? Well, we can't clear coat this baby until it's clean. I mean, we could, but it would look horrible. So, in our next episode, we're going to get Johnny cleaned up, prepped, sanded, cleared, sanded again, touched up, cleared again. You get the point. We're going to be making this playfield look new again, top and bottom. I want to take this moment to thank my Patreons for their support. It means a lot to me that you care about my content.